Hey everybody, rebelsatcloudnine here, and today I'm actually not in my room anymore. I've been exiled temporarily while that room is under restoration, so it might be a bit more echoey than we're used to because it's a very, very big living room that I'm in. So yeah, you guys were all there for my TIE Advance project, so I decided I should do something fun. I wanted to do this one for a while. It's the Bandai 72nd scale Resistance X-Wing for the new Force Awakens movie. Pretty excited about this. I did do an inbox review of this one, but I'll run through the parts really quick. You can go check out that on my channel for a better description. And I believe I posted the pictures of the sprue on my blog, so you can go check that out for yourself as well. So here's the first sprue, sprue A. We have clear parts in this corner. We have red in this corner and blue and kind of a white gray. I love how they do this. It's so cool. Molding all these colors in there. So sci-fi in and of itself for me. Just how do they do it? I'd love to know. Anyways, so here we have the X-Wing. The only thing I find is a bit of a problem with it. It's kind of broken up into more parts than I'd like, and that's for people who want to just put it together. I do understand why, but it does kind of make it a bit of a more complicated kit. But I'm more than certain, because I've built a couple other Bandais, not Star Wars ones, but the Yamato and Gundam. The fit's going to be just fine. So here's the display stand. It has that desert. I believe this is supposed. Yeah, this is Jakku, because this is from the beginning of the movie. Here's the silver sprue. This has all the more metallic parts. We also have another canopy, but this one's hollow. It's not supposed to. One person was trying to guess this. It's not supposed to be like a cage that you put on top of the clear pieces. No, this is a separate piece in and of itself. So you get two canopies, one clear and one hollow, which is reference to the studio scale models of how they used to do it in the original movies. They didn't have any clear parts in the windows. And here's sprue B with all the wings and a whole bunch of other little pieces. So this is actually the one we're going to start with. Here we have the instructions, and on the back we have our awesome paint guide. I really like it, and I'm going to give my brother BB-8 and the pilot to do. He's going to do those for me because they're tiny detail, and he's very good at that, so I'm very grateful for him for offering to do that for me. And here we have the decals. They look absolutely fantastic. I like the silver ones here. Nice metallic to them. And the last thing in the box are the stickers. So I'm going to go look at the instructions and figure out the first step here. And yeah, this is going to prove to be a very, very fun model. I'm looking forward to doing something without scratch building for a change, and this is definitely going to be it. So like I said, I'm going to go look at the instructions and be right back. So I'm going to try this camera angle for a little while, talk a little bit about the model itself. I built one half of the wing section. Everything fits together quite precisely, which is really great. Not that I was expecting it not to. It is a Bandai kit, and they are very much known for their precision, especially if you've seen some of their Gundams. Quite incredible, actually, what they've some of their Gundams are capable of doing. It really blows my mind. The intricate pieces that some of the hands have in those Gundams. I remember seeing one, it was a build someone was doing, I don't remember which one it was, but he was showing the hands, and that was, each finger had like 3 parts you had to put together. It was crazy. Really, really cool. So, like I said though, I'm really enjoying the build. I'm not finding anything really wrong. There's one thing I want to mention. Actually, one thing I don't like. I hate these instructions because they're so big. They're just so long. I forgot a step here. Oh, I did too. I'll do those right now. Let me see. A6 and A5. That is B, A6, A5. Okay, so these two. So this is kind of a, I don't know, it's where sprue cutters do come in handy, but you really need to cut away from the pieces. You don't want to be that close to them. So you are going to be doing quite a bit of cleanup work on them, unfortunately, but it's better than on the one. Sometimes when you cut too close, it like rips the plastic out of the sprue and or sorry, off of your piece. And so where is it? This, no, it is this side. Yeah, you can see I ripped out a little piece right there. It probably won't even show up, but I'm going to have to fill it in. So just make little nubs like that, and then you can just have a more precise cut like that. You know what I'm gonna do? Tilt this up because I am not in the line of sight here. That's better, eh? If I were to go back any further, all you'd be seeing was my dumb head. That's it's not what you guys want to see. You guys want to see the model, right? So that's my only complaint, or not even a complaint. Something you need to watch out for. So this has been kind of a fun little game. You have to keep this kind of lined up. Okay, so is it this way that I need to put these pieces on, or is it? Nope, it's this way. Okay, so this way pieces go on here, and this one goes here. This is where extra thin cement is super handy, because I can put those pieces in, glue them down, and then you're yelling at me, why are you gluing down? It's a snap kit, for crying out loud. Well, I'm sorry. I don't trust snap kits. I have had snap kits before where you put the pieces together and they all fall apart after a little while. So I'm going to glue them all down. Come on. There we go. And I'm leaving off the metallic gray pieces, the spruce C, I think it is. I'm leaving those off till kind of the end, I think. I think I'll paint those separately. I'll at least take a closer look at it. So I'm going to go and clean these up, put it all together, and I'll show you what the wings are like once they're all fit. So I want to see how well do they fold together. I'm pretty sure I know the answer is going to be great, but I'd like to see that for myself as well. I'm kind of very interested, because the only other X-Wing I've ever built is the AMT kit, the big one, and I kind of have a hate relationship with that model, because I remember building it and not having a fun time when it was over. So, like I said, I'm gonna go do that and be right back. So I need these next two pieces, C12 and C13. These silver pieces, these are the stoppers. You put these on either side of the wings. Looks like these help hold them in position. So I'm just gonna clean them up a little. What's really fantastic about these Bandai kits is there's times where you've built enough models, you kind of you kind of see things coming, right? You know, sometimes if you put two halves of a fuselage or whatever together, you know that you might have a little bit of a seam that you're going to have to fill in, and there's been plenty of moments like that with this X-Wing, where I'm putting it together and I'm going, okay, here it goes, I know what's going to happen now, and it doesn't happen. Namely like these, like this area here, I was expecting a lot of cleaning to do because of this curve in it. Nope, no, it's basically precision fit. So, see, you can put them this way, and now they're identical. But if you put them this way, they're the correct angle. One thing I just remember that right here, right below the first engine thruster right there, there's a nasty seam line right there. It's going to be very hard to remove. So if you're building this, sand that down right away. Okay, so look at that. Oh man, that is way too cool. Check that out. I love it. This X-Wing is harking back to the Ralph McQuarrie concept art. He had engines very similar to this, but there was a divider down the middle. And they, you know, eventually went with the all-round ones, which is also nice, but I really love that they incorporated that into these. It looks fantastic like this. Really, really looks great. So I need to put these together. Let me just make sure I have this the right way. That's going to be my big challenge. Because the wings on the bottom, it doesn't even show. Aha, okay, so this is the bottom. C12 goes in the front, and I don't believe you snap these, or sorry, glue them in place. I'm pretty sure these just fit. And this one goes that way, okay. No, does it? Do I have it the wrong way? I did. Okay. So now, no, I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be launched or assembled in the fuselage before it starts to work. But that's about it. Anyways, I'll pull these off for right now. There are tabs here. Don't cut these off. There's a tab here, and there's a slot here, and there are little tabs. Be sure you don't cut these off, okay? There's a little tab right here, right there, very, very tiny little tab, little nub there, and that fits into here. So you need all those together to get these wings to close up properly. Oh, that's a good way to figure it out. Okay. This is the top of the wing, bottom of the wing where the landing gear goes. That's easy enough. Okay. I'm not going to build the landing gear. I want to have it flying. And I know what you're saying. You're saying Rebels of Cloud9, you have the choice to have them up or down. You know, you can have it posable basically. Well, I choose to have them up. So that's about it. That looks really great though, eh? The only thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take these apart right now, and I'm going to fill in. Oh, gee, I hit my lamp. Sorry. It's got an automatic touch-sensitive button I keep forgetting about. I'm going to fill in these little squares here. That's my only gripe. Now those little squares there, but that'll be a quick fill. But I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to work on the fuselage. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll get to do the cockpit next. Even better. I really want to work on that, so let's get to it. So I got pretty carried away with the, there we go, with the cockpit and everything, and I basically built all of it. It comes in a whole bunch of sections, as you can see, so you don't have to, you know, paint it, you know, for people who are building it as a snap kit. And it works actually pretty well, but what it actually does a little bit is it does make it a bit flimsy. You can kind of hear it creaking a bit. So what I'm going to do a little later here is I'm just going to add some cement on all these lines in here. That's again where that extra thin really comes in handy. Cockpit, there's not much detail. They've got some nice detail for the top here. I'm leaving this off. It looks pretty good. Actually, it looks quite fantastic, if I'm bluntly honest about it all. And everything fits perfectly. So I'm going to fit this on here. And I just did this as a test fit to see how it goes. So I'm going to do it here again. But one of the things I really like to thank Bandai for is because I want to paint it. It's really hard to do that with the wings. So they basically engineer the kit so you can put this piece on top here. Because it's a snap kit, you can just pop it off again. So I can go and paint this entire thing and the wings separately, which is what I want to do. I want to weather the wings separately because it's very hard to get all the detail, inside each of the panels there. But I can do that. So it's really amazing how nicely they've gone ahead and done that. So I'm just going to show you guys what it's like here. So I want to keep the putty sides on the bottom. Can't wait to sand those down. So I'm actually just going to clip them together like so. Yeah, and then I need these. This one goes here. No, it goes nya. And this one, you have to look for the gap because there's a stub on top, like so. Looks great. And yeah, this just fits in here. And then you just put this on top. There's actually two pieces that are supposed to go in the back here. I haven't done those yet. Or put the bay in there. I guess it's a tub. And then this goes on here. So, I mean, look at that. That's really great. So you can see, like, right in here, it's going to be very hard to weather that, never mind masking it. That's going to be a nightmare to try and tape off that blue there. So I can leave the wings off, I can weather it, I can put it together again, and there she goes. So this is great. This is absolutely fun. That's the only word I can use to properly describe this kit. It's fun. I'm having fun again. And I want to build this display stand. This display stand's pretty cool how they've worked it out. It's not on a hinge or anything like that, but you can see these little teeth in there, the little grooves. And how those work is you just kind of put them in like that. So I'm going to keep this straight. And I'd like it to bank to the right. So this one has the same thing. So you can have it like that. There's 3 little notches in there. And it fits in here. So then I'm going to put this on. That is fantastic. I actually just took this, put it up on my desk here, and I'm absolutely blown away. I love it. This is so much fun to be building this model. This is great. Fantastic engineering on Bandai's behalf. It's absolutely just thrilling to get to build something so nice. After, again, the only other X-Wing I've built is the AMT kit. I'm not sure how the Revel kit is. I've never had much interest in that weird scale, but it would be interesting to do it as a kind of comparison, just to see, not the Resistance X-Wing, but a regular standard X-Wing. I've got to say also, something that's kind of, like I said, I really do like the design of the X-Wing, these new Resistance fighters, but I don't know, in my mind, it kind of looks like a Mark 1, and the X-Wings from A New Hope, they kind of look like a Mark 3 or Mark 4. I don't know, is that just me? Like, these kind of look like an earlier version of the X-Wing. The more I look at it, I kind of like, it looks kind of earlier, and I like that. But I don't know, somehow it just doesn't my brain just doesn't click that this is, you know, a later version of a spacecraft. And it's a spacecraft, so it doesn't matter. You know, it's not an aircraft where they're trying to become more and more aerodynamic. But I don't know, is that just me, or you guys thinking the same thing? So anyways, I'm going to go take these apart. I have the tub to add in on there and a bunch of other little doodads and stuff. I've still got quite a bit to do. And I'm going to hand over, tomorrow, I'm going to hand over the pilot and the BB-8 and all these guys to my brother. He's going to paint those for me. And I'm going to go and airbrush the cockpit right now. I'm going to go airbrush all these pieces so I can start detailing them. So that'll be pretty cool. Alright, this is take 2. I ran out of battery the last time I did this, but yeah, here's the pilot figure in all its glory. I'm going to talk about the decals and painting them and all that stuff. Now, I didn't paint this figure. My brother did. I got him to do it because he's much better at painting figurines. He does that basically all the time. But I was able to take some nice pictures of the detail he got in here. Absolutely looks fantastic. I couldn't be more thrilled with this result, to be honest. And then here he is seated in his cockpit. Oops, sorry about that. There he is. Looks quite nice. I was able to paint all the rest of the details. Hopefully this will focus. Come on, camera. If I do this. Nope. So yeah, he's sitting in there quite comfortably. He's got all his dials painted up. And here's BB-8, which I'm very, very pleased with his work on this little one here. This was really, really cool. So just going to talk through it a bit. He used mostly P3 paints, I think a couple of Vallejo paints for this, but he had to make a custom color for the uniform. You remember in the original series they're orange? Well, in the new Resistance, in some of the pictures I used as reference, they are red with an orange tinge to them, kind of like firemen have. Even this color here is not accurate, and I was really surprised how basically this actually looks like it. I was really, really impressed how close he got it to, you know, looking like that. The only decals I did use were for the helmet. I got to talk about those here, because the helmet decals come in 3 sections, 7, 8, 9 here, and I found it to be much easier if you cut 8 right down the middle. They don't quite fit as well as I would want, so I cut it in half. I put this down here and then put 9 on top of that, put the other half 8 down on this side and put 7 on. Made it much easier. Little Tamiya Mark Fit Strong decal solvent did the trick, and you know, away I went. So quite happy with those. I think it looks pretty good sitting in there. If you remember my inbox review of this kit, I said my only complaint about the kit was BB-8, that he comes in 2 sections you have to put together instead of one round ball and his head you put together, and I found out the reason why they did that, and it's actually very clever. For those who aren't going to paint it, it's so you can put him in here and pull him out again. You don't accidentally rip his head off, that sort of thing. So let me just show you guys what this looks like. It looks very, very nice. I'm quite pleased. So there, check that out. Looks pretty sweet. And here's the open canopy. I just put this on just to see what it would look like. So it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with that. I gotta say, one thing that was confusing to me is whose X-Wing is this? Because I didn't know if it was Poe Dameron's or just a Rebel pilot. And I began looking all over the internet, and I could only find Poe Dameron's orange and black X-Wing and his uniform at that point on. I was in Walmart just a little while ago, and I found a book, one of those DK books, and they had in there pictures of him from the opening sequence of the movie, and this is his helmet, so I can confirm it. This is his helmet that he has earlier in the movie, so this is early version Poe Dameron. So quite excited about that, actually. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't show that, you know, why they didn't explain any of that, but I'm kind of surprised that there aren't any more markings for this X-Wing. Because, like, I think the Bandai comes with 2 markings for the original series X-Wing. This one only has the 1. It's a little odd. I would have thought they would have made a couple more options in there. Wouldn't have been much difficulty for them. The last thing I want to talk about before I move on is the display base, and I don't know what this is about. So this really adds to my confusion. It didn't quite before, but this is the hole here for the display stand, right? So this goes in like that, right? But then they give you this little piece here in case you want to have it covered up, like this. But I don't understand why. Because, like, this is, you know, the front wheels are here, and then the landing skids are here and here. It's not actually going to really fit on here. So I don't quite understand why they made that section on there. And it's not a complaint or anything. It's just curiosity, really. I just don't quite understand why they did that. So what I'm going to go do now is I puttied the wings again. There's a couple little gaps in here, so I'm going to go sand these down again. And then I think I'm going to mask the windows. I'm getting close to actually being able to start painting this, I think. So I'm really happy with this little BB-8 that he hand painted. It's quite impressive. Really think that's awesome. And I have taken pictures of all these characters, and they're going to be up on my blog, and I'll try and incorporate them into the video here. I never really know until I start editing where I can sneak a picture in or something like that. So, anyways, I'm going to go and do all that right now, and be back with something else.